So I'm starting off this morning, mixing up some fertilizer here. It is time to give all of our hang baskets a jump. This is 18618, which is good for all of our calibrachoa and petunias. It's kind of chunky. Well, I guess I should, first of all, turn it on and then tear it. Now we can begin. I'm gonna mix up around 300 parts, which will be 20 ounces, maybe like 21 ounces. I'm only gonna do 1 gallon though. It's 8. Probably shouldn't be sticking my fingers in this, but I don't have a lot of other choice right now. $22, maybe just break off a little chunk of that. Now to make sure that this dissolves very well in the water, I'm going to use hot water, and then I can start running it through the line. One of my favorite things now every time I come in the greenhouse is to check out that glow petunia. I still have not actually checked it out in the dark because I'm not in the greenhouse in the dark, but I'm kind of waiting for it to just get a little bit bigger. That way it just stands a better chance. I feel like right now it's so tiny. It's kind of like when you have a plant that's supposed to smell, like citronella. It doesn't really smell too much when it's young. It's not really till it's bigger where it really starts to emit like those odors or whatever you want to call it. All right, here we go. Watch it feed up through the line. There she goes. And we are now fertilized. So this is the petunias like 3 days after I got them potted. Actually starting to bloom a little bit. They haven't changed much. Maybe they, just got a little bit more life in them, but I wouldn't say they got any greener. I wouldn't say they really got any bigger, but you can't really expect that. They're still trying to set their roots down within the soil. So I'm gonna take this down into a dark room and I wanna see if this will glow in the dark. Like I said, I don't have a lot of hope for it, but we'll see. The darkest place I can think of is here in the potato storage, which now there's no potatoes in here besides just a couple for ourselves. We always save some just so we have to eat, but besides that, that's it. And for family, obviously we're not eating how many hundreds of potatoes are there, but that's really only probably 2 half-bushel baskets, maybe 3 at most. All right, so let's close this. So it is now completely dark in here, besides myself with the flashlight. And so, where's the plant? Right here. And so here's the plant. Not glowing even the slightest. Now, I don't know if I can imitate sunlight with this flashlight and see if it glows. Not even a little bit. So, did I get scammed? Does the flashlight just not work? Or is the plant too young to do that yet? Because it ain't glowing at all. Well, that's a little bit depressing. I really, really, really hope that as it gets bigger, it'll get better. I also have 2 other ones if for some reason this one just doesn't glow. I don't know what bioluminescent means. I don't know if that is just like anything else that's glow in the dark. Like you can get like those glow in the dark stickers or whatever they are, and you can take a light like I just had, shine it, and you can like bring it back to life, I guess you would say, and it'll be shining bright, and then after a couple of minutes, it kind of gets dim again. And then you just do it again with the flashlight. So I thought that would be the same thing for that plant, but maybe this is a whole different kind of glow in the dark. I really don't know, but maybe I'll do some research on it, or maybe you guys in the comments can let me know if you know anything about it. The rhubarb that Mom's been working on quite a bit lately is really starting to shoot out. You can see some are bigger, some are smaller. Like this looks like a couple plants. This is just one. And then down here, these guys are the real big bushes. Then we have two smaller guys, and then again, bigger bushes. So it is now the next day. Just got out here to the farm market, and just like normal, the weather's crazy. I think it's like 34, 35 degrees, and it's only supposed to get up to like 45 today. And tomorrow it's supposed to be even colder. So I'm gonna come in. I was here last night closing up and turned the heat on just because, like I said, it got below freezing. I think it got like 30 degrees last night. And we don't want our strawberry plants getting that cold, even though they can take colder temperatures than what like our flowers can back home. But I noticed some of them were kind of dry, and I don't like to water real late at night, so I let them go. But just like I said, I wanted to come out early, get these watered, and then I'm gonna head back home to the greenhouses and see what's going on out there. If you look close, you can see the new green growth coming out on some of these. You can see how like that pot is lighter colored, it's kind of dry. This one, you don't even need to look close. You can see that nice new leaf coming out. And I would say that goes for most of the pots. You can see how those four are dry. Some, like I said, when we planted, will just not grow at all. I'm trying to find one here that just has no green on it whatsoever, which isn't many, which is good. Like even that guy's got some green growth down there. That guy's got some green growth, even though it's hard to see. But there is a couple I did see earlier on that are definitely just not gonna make it. Which is fine, because when we order from Norse's, they make you order, I think, a certain amount, so you get a certain discount. Or they don't make you, but we obviously opt for that choice, that way we can save money. And then we just have extra plants. So if a couple die, it's really not gonna hurt, because we're not in too big of danger of selling out real quick anyway. I went through and watered all of the dry ones that were like really dry. And now I'm gonna go back over and water all of them. Not a ton, but just so that they don't need water today, because the market isn't open and it's just kind of a nuisance to keep coming out and checking and watering a couple pots here and there. You don't want to overwater anything, but I also want to save time. So I just finished up. You can see how the soil is now a lot darker, and it actually made the green on the little leaves coming out pop out more. These right here, from there all the way to there, is Galetta, which is around 500. And then we also had 500 Jewel, and I forgot to mention, this is a June-bearing Galetta. Jewel is an ever-bearing. We had 500 of these as well, but we already sold 150 of them, just as the bare root, not even potted. So we only have around 350 of those left, both doing just about exactly the same. I figured before I go home, I'll come here in the market and just a little bit of a walk around, because I don't usually get to do this when we're open. There's usually customers in here. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And so I'll just show you around. The only problem is that obviously a lot of things that are refrigerated are not out on display because they're back in our cooler. So you'll have to not mind the empty spots. So this is the front door. When you come in, you can walk up, and this is like our grab and go section, which again, you just got to be aware that all of this stuff is kind of empty because we try and, get rid of as much before we aren't open for a day. That way we can bake fresh, when we're open. And so just some cookies, candy cakes, muffins, a lot of our scones are out. And then right here is our Easter pie orders and kibasi orders. I'm not gonna go up close because people's names are on there and I don't want to, reveal them. Come around the store. This is where we have our syrups. Lox maple syrup, you can get it in 3 different sizes. We're out of the big sizes, the gallons. Here's our honey that we bottle ourselves. Pollen, smaller jars. Over here is like the snack section, pretzels, chips. Over here is ciders, peach cider, raspberry cider, cherry cider, and blackberry cider. Then this is all Jake and Amos jarred goods, peaches, salsas, chow chow, relish, asparagus. And then we come over here onto this shelf, which is more jarred goods, but as you can see, it's labeled with our name, bunch of vinaigrettes. Here is all the jellies. A lot of this stuff here you can get online on our website, broyansfarm.com. And I'm slowly getting more on. Lots of goodies. Definitely try them out. They're pretty good. Then we come over here. Barbecue sauces. This is actually made locally, I think in like Berwick. And it's one of my favorite barbecue sauces. Come around here. Canning supplies. This is all like bath stuff, soaps, lotions. Then you get to the fridge. Here's some Oreo pie, peanut butter pie, raw milk down here, which is kind of a new item we have. We had raw milk, but now we have a new supplier. And then here's the sodas, which I just got online on our website. Really cool, different colors, different varieties, obviously. And I personally tried every single one and I like them all. Our little merch section, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Then we have our spice rack. My pap actually made this entire rack for my mom. I would love to get the spices online, but this is a lot, as you can see. Tons of different varieties labeled with our name on it. You can get the jar, or after you get the jar, you can just buy packs to fill it up. Here we have our muffins, molasses crumb, chocolate with peanut butter icing, black bottom, chocolate chip, cranberry orange, blueberry, peach, pistachio, and coffee cake. This is where we make our hoagies, which is one of our biggest sellers. And then in the deli cooler here, we have a ton of meats, bacon, cheeses, all sorts of different kinds, mozzarella, pepper jack, some scrapple. And then we have this shelf here, which is a bunch of our sweets, M&Ms, chocolate covered pretzels, gummy worms, Swedish fish, chocolate covered almonds, which is actually pretty good. More of the same. Over here we have pancake mixes, oatmeal. Come around here, we have like noodles. On this side we have rices, crackers, or I guess like saltine crackers, is that what they're called? Or, I don't know, oyster crackers, that's what they're called. Here we have our chocolates, flours, brown sugar, more flours here, vanilla extract, and then we have salt, pepper, and this is actually a little bit empty here. Long time ago, we were in the newspaper. You can see how young I was. They did an article. And then this is just pictures we have, kind of like I do for YouTube, so people can see what we do and how stuff grows. This is like our strawberry board here. And then over here we have more of the same. Some of these pictures are old. You might recognize some familiar faces that have worked here in the past. And so that's the main stuff. There's obviously a lot more that I'm not gonna go into fine detail. And obviously the biggest thing is our fresh fruits and vegetables that we sell of our own all summer long. But like I said, we just don't have that here right now. We didn't really even start in the field, so the busiest time is not even close to here yet. Greenhouses, get us going, but once the veggies start, that's when we're in full swing and barely can keep our head above water. So that's what I'm calling it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember it ain't much, but it's honest work.